So let's queer up politics. Shock. Robinson's controversial campaign risks Trump's North Carolina win. North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson's anti-LGBTQ rhetoric is jeopardizing former President Donald Trump's chances in the state. Robinson, a gubernatorial Republican candidate, is known for his inflammatory remarks, including calling LGBTQ people filthy and demons. Trump's endorsement of Robinson, calling him Martin Luther King on steroids, may backfire as recent polling reveals a significant backlash. Mick Mulvaney, Trump's former chief of staff, himself noted that Robinson's unpopularity could hinder Trump's campaign in North Carolina. He said, Trump is being weighed down by a very unpopular Republican candidate for governor. The latest polls show Robinson trailing Democratic opponent Josh Stein by up to 14 points, a stark contrast to the narrow margins in past gubernatorial races. David Plouffe of the Harris campaign sees Robinson's extremism as an advantage, suggesting that his unpopularity could bolster Democratic support. An Elon University poll indicates that 1 in 6 Republican voters might split their ticket, favoring a different party for governor, compared to only 1 in 20 Democrats. Meanwhile, a Bloomberg Morning Consult poll shows Vice President Kamala Harris leading Trump by 1% in the state, a significant shift from Trump's 8% lead in July. With Stein and Harris outspending Robinson and Trump, and Robinson's falling in popularity due to his controversial stances, North Carolina could be a pivotal battleground state for the upcoming election. I think this is stunning because, I'm stunned that Robinson's even a candidate, to be honest. There is not one group in North Carolina that he has not offended, insulted, destroyed verbally, and just been disrespectful on every point and count. So I'm glad about the 14-point lead, barring that the polls are true, because you know how polls are fickle, like most of the men I date. But I'm just stunned. Especially with his there isn't a comment that he hasn't made that hasn't offended half the world. So
I want to give it to the Republicans. They found someone that's more deplorable than Donald Trump. So this is someone that even Donald Trump doesn't want to campaign with. And I think it's important to always really say the words out loud that they're saying. So when we cover stories, we don't just say that they're making offensive statements. This is someone who linked, homosexuality to pedophilia, that said that, he supports LGBTQ rights, but doesn't want sexually explicit materials given to children about transgenderism or sexuality in schools, which of course is never happening. He's ridiculed school shooting victims. That probably is a real popular thing after there was another school shooting, unfortunately, in the United States yesterday. And he's pronounced Holocaust denialism. So I think we've covered a lot of groups to be offended by it. And also, the reality is North Carolina is becoming a more purple state. I think we probably all have friends or acquaintances that have relocated to North Carolina. It's becoming a lot more liberal. There's a lot of universities there and a lot of bright young people that hopefully will reject this person.
I think that's pretty on brand for Republicans right now. It's like the Trump method. You attack, belittle, damage egos, lie, then you're at the top of the ticket.
Yeah, he's a special kind of one.
And that unfortunately spills out into society at large, right? So, yeah.
Well, what's specific to Robinson, the fact that, a lot of the statements that he's going against in all these different communities, people are bringing up his past. His wife and he had an abortion earlier in their marriage, and he's denouncing abortion as murder. Strike one. He's going after the LGBT community, calling us everything under the sun that's negative, and yet he has countless witnesses that when he was starting his life in the work community, he worked for a Papa John's franchise, and yet he would spend most of his nights hanging out at a porn store, buying videos and sharing pizza from work, and making friends and being social. Wow. And somehow that is denied. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth here, mister. You know, you can't revise history or your history. You have to accept it and move on.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that. He's just destroying and dividing. So,
Yeah.